Hey everybody, it's Esqua here. What the I guess a 2.0 review of the Musketeers fort. Only 2.0 because this is my second time doing it, and everyone had a season to kind of learn some things that work for you. One thing I've learned is how to set a allocation of defending troops, and I'll go over my thinking around that. And when I made this adjustment during the last season, my defense results went up and my loot results went up. All right, so enough of this talking. And right here, I'm pissed off because I didn't change the allocation early enough, and I actually lost to this dude. So kind of pissed a little bit, but whatever. All right, so this is what I came up with as a allocation that works for me. So basically, reducing my infantry by a little more than 3%, say 3.5%, and moving that over to the distance. Now, the reason why I decided to do that is when you're fighting on a one-on-one, you don't need to absorb as much damage as when you're attacking someone's castle or someone's attacking your castle. So you don't need a lot of, I guess, meat suits, as they say. And out of all the troops, the distance troops provide the most damage to all the other troops. So infantry is going to have a specific kind of thing they do. Cavalry have kind of a specific troop they do, but distance have a lot more damage. So I'm going to go more on my distance side. And instead of my 240 versus someone who has say 1,000,000 troops, it's really my 240 versus your 240, or my 240 versus your 300. So I don't need to absorb as much damage. What I need to do is cause more damage. So in this case, this is how I came up with this allocation, and it worked for me. So depending on your strengths, your stats, it may work differently. But what I found is this allocation, my success rate vastly increased once I discovered this allocation. And I used the same for my attack. And I've done a lot better there. Now, one thing I noticed for this season, they made it a little easier, at least early on. So when I started last season, I was kind of one of the early ones. I went far pretty quickly, and I found myself battling 35s, 38s, 40s, 33s, not a lot of lower castles early on. And I think it kind of slowed down my growth a little bit. So one tip, if you're finding yourself losing early, wait a day or two, because what's happening here is you're going up against people at your same level. And typically the stronger people are going to get to the higher levels quicker. So if you find yourself not getting far, you got 27 days to complete this thing, just wait a day or two. And you'll find yourself kind of going against the weaker of the castles, before you hit against the stronger castles. For me, I was kind of impatient. I just wanted to do it. So last season, I was up against the stronger castles pretty much every time I had the reset. I make it, one round versus the last time, or I guess this time, I was able to make it through all 6 rounds. So I have to wait now 24 hours to go to the next 6 rounds. So if you're, find yourself not getting past the first round a lot of times, or even the second round, wait a day, go against the weaker opponents, and that'll make things a little bit easier for you. But, I've noticed a difference here. They've kind of putting you against more of your peers than last time. I don't know how it's going to take place when I start again. But basically, this allocation of troops has worked for me. It's a lot different than battle as well, because you only have one level of troops, so you can't really tier it. So try it out. Try something out. Let me know what's worked for you. Hopefully this added some value to you. Please subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Thank you very much. Have a great day.